Good evening and welcome to Kini News. You may have heard that rather viral audio recording that everybody's talking about this week. I'm sure you know which one. The authorities have yet to authenticate it. Zahid and Anwar have denied that it is real, but one leader claims to be highly confident that it is in fact real. Not many things in life are 100% certain, but former Umno Secretary General Anwar Musa said that he was 101% sure that the audio clip allegedly depicting Party President Ahmad Zahid Hamidi and PKR President Anwar Ibrahim conversing is legitimate. Anwar said he played the audio clip 10 times last night, and since he knew both Zahid and Anwar well, he was convinced it was them.
Suara orang lain berlakon dengan suara sebenar tu saya rasa saya boleh cam. Dan saya tu teranglah saya katakan, setakat yang saya buat pengecaman, saya pasang kat lebih dari 10 kali malam tadi. Saya yakin 101% itu adalah suara tulen. Bukan orang buat-buat ataupun bukan.
Since both Zahid and Anwar have claimed that the audio clip was fake, Anwar urged the duo to swear their innocence at a mosque. Anwar said the conversation contents were very disappointing for him because it allegedly took place soon after the conclusion of the Umno General Assembly, which resolved that the party will not work with Anwar or DAP.
Jadi saya rasa saya being betrayed sebagai perwakilan. Dan sebagai anggota perwakilan, UMNO bagian Ketere merasakan kita dah being misled. Kita dah beri sokongan itu. Sekali fikir macam rasa nak tarik baliklah sokongan itu sebab sokongan berdasar pada fakta tertentu, berdasar pada trust.
After Zahid's denial, Anwar Ibrahim called it an attempt to turn his Pakatan Harapan allies against him. So this is what he had to say. PKR President Anwar Ibrahim has become the second person to deny the authenticity of a recorded conversation purportedly between him and UMNO President Ahmad Zahid Hamidi after the UMNO General Assembly.
Saudara Zahid pagi tadi menafik keras. Saya pada malam ini ingin menyatakan bukan saja penafian, tetapi ternyata selain menafikan, ternyata ia ini menunjukkan betapa gundah gulananya pimpinan negara ini mencari apa sahaja tipu helah. Dia dah hilang ugut, beli orang rasuah, tak makan, maka dia sebarkan fitnah.
Unlike Zahid, who is now facing mounting pressure from even his own party, Anwar said Pakatan Harapan members have been understanding.
Nyata ada usaha untuk memfitnah, merekayasa dengan lebih canggih. Dan supaya dalam keadilan orang tanya, DAP atau amanah akan persoal, nasib baik kita ini rakan setia, dia tak mudah tergugat dengan fitnah-fitnah macam ini.
Earlier this week, a 4-minute audio clip has been making its rounds where a person who sounds like Anwar praised a person who sounds like Zahid over the latter's handling of the UMNO General Assembly. Anwar's denial comes after Zahid said he was shocked and disappointed over the allegation and claims that he was a victim of a political scheme to weaken or destroy UMNO. During the UMNO General Assembly, the party delegates resolved to cut ties with Bersatu but gave Zahid the mandate to decide when. The UMNO General Assembly had also resolved that the party must not cooperate with Anwar nor DAP. Both Anwar and Zahid are expected to lodge police reports on the purported audio recording separately. Despite both leaders denying it, several UMNO members have already begun putting the pressure on Zahid. UMNO veteran Tengku Razaleigh Hamzah has called on Ahmad Zahid Hamidi to quit as UMNO president if he had indeed spoken to PKR President Anwar Ibrahim after the party's annual General Assembly. His call comes after the emergence of an audio clip of a purported phone conversation between Zahid and Anwar after the UMNO meeting. Tengku Razaleigh said Zahid is not qualified to hold the position of UMNO president if the audio recording is authentic. He added that a leader in Zahid's position should not behave this way and should be more responsible. Tengku Razaleigh was also quoted by Sina Harian as saying that he does not know if the audio recording is true, but it indeed sounded like Zahid. Earlier this week, a 4-minute audio clip began making its rounds on social media in which a person who sounded like Anwar praised another person who sounded like Zahid over the handling of the UMNO General Assembly. Zahid has denied the authenticity of the recording and said that an officer of his would lodge a police report. The audio recording, if true, would further indicate that there is clandestine cooperation between some UMNO leaders and the opposition. Despite Zahid's denial, the call for him to resign has grown. Malaysia is under fire on the international stage when an ambassador held a meeting with a junta leader in Myanmar. The Malaysian government now has several questions to answer after its ambassador to Myanmar met with a member of the military junta government. The country is being criticized after the meeting between Ambassador Zahid Ibrahim and the junta's electricity and energy minister Ang Tan Oo, which reportedly occurred yesterday. It is unclear what was discussed at the said meeting. The meeting went viral after Free Rohingya Coalition co-founder Ro Ne San Luin tweeted the screenshots of the news report on the meeting, which was aired on a TV station owned by the Myanmar military. According to Ro Ne, Zahari is the first ASEAN ambassador to have a meeting with the junta. However, it should be noted that representatives from Thailand, Laos and Vietnam were present at a Tharmador parade in the Myanmar capital 2 weeks ago. Southeast Asia political analyst Bridget Welsh said Zahiri's meeting with Oo gave legitimacy to the junta. A spokesperson for the Milk Tea Alliance Network for Malaysia likewise told Malaysia Kini that the meeting legitimized the junta and was also confusing. The group's Malaysia spokesperson said they hoped that there would be a reasonable explanation over the meeting.
Shellfish, red meat, and beer. If you love indulging in these foods, you may end up with high uric acid level in your blood. These foods consist high level of purine, a substance that will eventually break down into uric acid and be excreted through our urine. It is recommended that the amount of dietary purines should be kept between 600 to 1000 milligrams per day. Having too much uric acid in your blood can cause attacks of gout. It can also cause kidney stones and blockage in the kidney. The crystallization of the excessive uric acid in your blood can be eased by reducing purine-rich food to only 100 to 150 milligrams daily, maintaining a healthy lifestyle, and consuming urinary alkalinizer like Ural. It consists of sodium bicarbonate, citric acid, and sodium citrate that increases the urinary pH and solubility of uric acid to prevent crystallization. Best of all, it's lemon-flavored and sugar-free. Ural, effective urinary alkalinizer. Neutralize your uric acid problem now.
What does a past minister and Donald Trump have in common? Lim Guan Eng has an idea about what it could be. Here's what he had to say. What does past Environment and Water Minister Tuan Ibrahim Tuan Man have in common with former US President Donald Trump? According to DAP Secretary General Lim Guan Eng, it's their nonchalance towards climate change. In a statement today, Lim said Tuan Ibrahim was no different from Trump, who during his presidency showed a lack of knowledge and enthusiasm in the climate change agenda. This comes after Tuan Ibrahim claimed that Malaysia was not invited to the US-organized Climate Action Summit because Malaysia was not a major contributor to greenhouse gases, GHG, nor was it categorized as, quote, climate vulnerable. There were 3 Southeast Asian countries that were invited to the summit: Singapore, Indonesia, and Vietnam. Lim said Singapore's inclusion invalidated Tuan Ibrahim's explanation. The DAP leader further criticized Tuan Ibrahim for giving such Trump-like reasoning and that it was unacceptable and dishonest when Singapore was also invited, even though Singapore could not come under either of the categories of GHG production or being climate vulnerable. Lim added that in truth, Malaysia is not seen as a strategic environmental partner on climate change action by the US, inferior even to Vietnam, despite slowly becoming a favored dumping ground for US so-called clean plastic waste. He warned that apart from environmental problems, climate change will deal an economic cost to Malaysia, pointing to studies that have predicted that climate change will lead to sovereign credit rating cuts. And that's a wrap for this evening. For more stories, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube and Facebook, or go on over to kinitv.com. Before I go, if you want to support the independent media, do consider a subscription to MalaysiaKini.com. Go to our subscription page on Malaysia Kini, you'll find some deals waiting there just for you. If you're heading out, don't forget to wear your mask, and when you can, still do try to stay home. I'm Daniel Anthony, thank you for watching, and as always, stay safe Malaysia.